Hello, people, and welcome to my Untold Atlas. On this journey, I take you across the wonderful cities of Egypt, exploring its vibrant culture. Now sit back and enjoy this ride. I packed my bags on the first week of March this year in 2025, where I boarded a flight from Dubai to Cairo International Airport. For me, this was more than just a journey, it was a tale to be witnessed. After going through a civil war and economic instability, this was the perfect time to me to experience its culture and traditions.
I was having my food and look at who joined. Guest. What? Very good. Guest.
Every journey begins with a whisper, and mine began where the sea meets history, Alexandria, a city born from Alexander's dream, where the winds still carry echoes of ancient philosophers and the air smells of salt and memory. Here, I walked along the Corniche, watching the fishermen cast their lines into the horizon that has seen empires rise and fall. Alexandria taught me that some stories are not written, they're carved in the silence of time. The Library of Alexandria once held the world's knowledge, and though it burned centuries ago, you can still feel its spirits in the air. There's something poetic about the city that lost its greatest treasure, yet still refuses to stop learning and stop dreaming. The city feels like a conversation between the past and the present. Greek columns stand beside the modern cafes, where the fishermen sing as the sun sings behind the citadel. It's not just a place, it's a mood, a rhythm, a quiet nostalgia painted in blue and gold. Every street tells a story. The scent of the sea mingles with the coffee and the faint hum of life. Children run by the shore, lovers sit on the stone walls, and the city glows under the weight of a memory. Alexandria is both a beginning and an ending, a place where sunrise feels like a second chance. As when everything was going good, I found myself in a tricky situation in Smoha in Alexandria, where a drunk Sudanese man tried to attack me midnight, and you can see I had to escape my room. And I tried to be optimistic. One small situation in a journey wouldn't mean that my whole journey would be bad. I made myself to a new adventure, to a new city, and new exploration.
Starting the day strong. Starting the day strong with some Turkish coffee and caramel. The Brazilian coffee stories. Amazing place. Coffee is fabulous. Peace out.
For me, Alexandria was the first page of Egypt, and like every great story, it began with the wonder. It reminded me sometimes the most beautiful stories aren't in the museums or the monuments, they are in the breeze that carries voices across time. And then Giza. Standing before the pyramids, I felt small. Not in the body, but in time. 4,000 years of human ambition towered above me. You realize standing here that immortality isn't about living forever. It's about being remembered for what you build. The stones spoke louder than the words, and I just listened. Further south, the Nile guided me to Luxor, the world's greatest open air museum. Temples of gods, tombs of kings. But what struck me the most wasn't their size, it was their silence. In that silence, I felt gratitude. Gratitude that I was here in this lifetime, walking paths once touched by eternity. The story ended where it began, back in Cairo. But this time, I saw the city differently. Not as a traveler chasing monuments, but as a storyteller chasing meaning. Egypt is not a place you visit, it's a mirror. And in that mirror, I saw the reflection of who I've become through every road, every river, and every sunrise. As the Nile fades into the distance and the Cairo skyline shimmers under the final light, I realized this journey was never just about places. It was about people, moments, and the quiet realizations in between. From the whispering waves of Alexandria to the timeless pyramids of Giza, the sacred calm of Luxor, and the restless heartbeat of downtown Cairo. Egypt taught me that time is not something we escape, it's something we travel through. Every city had a story, and every story had a lesson. In Alexandria, I found beginnings. In Cairo, I found life. In Luxor, I found peace. And somewhere between it all, I found myself. They say travel changes you, but Egypt does something deeper. It doesn't change you, it reveals you. It strips away the noise, the hurry, the illusion of control, and reminds you how small yet how infinite we truly are. As I close this chapter of the Untold Atlas, I carry with me not just the sights I've seen, but the silence I've felt. Because sometimes it's not about collecting memories, it's about being present enough to live inside them. And so, with sand in my shoes and stories in my heart, I say goodbye, not to Egypt, but to a version of myself that only this land could awaken. This is Egypt, told through the untold by the Untold Atlas.